Alright, in this video I will be installing and testing out a GKU D600 Dash Cam that has a dash cam forward as well as a rearward facing camera that's obviously going to go in the back of the vehicle. GKU sent this over to me to test out, and there will be product links for both the camera as well as some of the tools and things that I picked up to make the video as well. Some things are pretty important, I'll highlight those in a second. And diving right into the box here, you obviously get a manual. It is important to keep the manual. You do get some of these adhesives. I didn't use these, but if you want to use those on your windshield, you can. And then the camera is this little guy right here. And it's only 4K if you're only using the forward-facing camera. Once you hook them both up, then it's no longer a 4K camera, but I'll go over that in a little bit. There's obviously a sticker on the lens for protection, and then there's the adhesive piece that's going to stick to your windshield. There's only one button on the side, and then on the other side there's a spot for the micro SD card, and then there are two receptacles. One is for the power, which looks like the USB-C, and then the one that looks like a 3.5 aux jack is for the rearward camera. And obviously there's a microphone on it as well, as the camera can talk to you. Basically it says it records or it's not recording. It also will tell you if you need to format your micro SD card. In the rest of the box, you get a few bonus adhesive pads, which is nice. Obviously these things don't last forever. If it's really hot out, sometimes these things can fall off as well. So some bonus is good. You get a little trim tool. You can use it for different things, but I think generally it's used to pry trim down. You get some of these clips, and these are key. Definitely you're going to want at least the 5 that they provide you. You might want some more, but I found that 5 is a good start up front anyway. Depends what you're doing in the back. You might want a few more of those clips. They give you a power connector. Now this one connects to a cigarette lighter or 12 volt DC jack, I guess they're called now. Probably not too many people smoke in their cars. They also have a hardwire kit, so if you didn't want to use that, you could hardwire this into your car. And then there's the rearward facing camera, which is just sort of a smaller version of the forward facing camera. The difference is this one is 1080p, and obviously it has a very long cable attached to it. The rearward facing camera rotates pretty easily, and the forward facing camera has sort of a hinge where you can adjust where it's pointing at once you get it installed into your vehicle. And just showing how everything hooks up here before I go outside. Like I said, the 12 volt cigarette lighter goes into the USB-C, and the 3.5 aux jack style plug-in goes into the other hole. Some things you might find useful are some additional clips. Again, nothing lasts forever on your windshield. They can fall off, so having a bag of 40 can be beneficial. And if you want to view your videos in full HD, then you actually have to read them off the SD card. So you may need an adapter to do that. I've got this one, which will plug into a USB-C or into a regular USB, and it'll take the various styles of micro SD. So I'll throw some links to those bonus things in the description as well. So if you get this camera, then you'll be able to view your videos in full HD. Whereas if you view them on your cell phone, the resolution will be slightly lower. Now to install the camera, obviously it's going to be vehicle dependent. I'm going to put mine right behind the rear view mirror in a spot where I'm not even going to see the camera actually. So when I'm driving, I can't see the camera. And just peel off the adhesive pad and stick it down where you want it. Everything is going to be coming off to the right hand side, so I'm going to put the cabling all the way along the top into the corner, and then I'm going to have it come down from there. And to do this, I'm going to put the supplied clips at each of the turning points. So put the first clip down, lock it into place, and that'll be the first turn, and then I'll bring it into the next corner, put another clip just like that, then bring it down and put another clip in. And I'll show you how I set it up once I've got this rear camera in as well. Rear camera, I'm just putting it right top center, and because this hatch opens, I need to keep it a little bit slack, but not a big deal, just enough slack to open the rear gate, and I'll put another couple clips there. And then I didn't even need that tool. I just need to tuck the wire in along that sort of carpeted roof line and that hard piece of plastic. So just using my fingers and pushing it in. It's going to be different for every vehicle, so you got to look at it yourself and see the best way to set up your own vehicle. And this is the setup I've got for the cabling. You can see it goes straight up into the far right corner, straight down into the far bottom right corner, and then straight into the middle of the dashboard and over. From the manual, you do need to use the QR code for either the Android or iOS, and then download that Jarvis app on your phone. You don't always need to use the Jarvis app when you're using your camera, but it is required to get everything set up. And you also need to connect to that Wi-Fi, the GKU D600 5Xs, and then use that password 12345678. And if you look in the next page of the manual, it'll tell you everything that you're looking at once you download Jarvis onto your phone. So this is all phone stuff. So I've downloaded Jarvis. I'll open it up here. I've moved into a parkade because I wanted to go to the mall. Once I've opened Jarvis, you can see it's connecting to that camera that was mentioned a moment ago. And then you can see that you can do all your setup from there. So first thing I'm going to do is format the SD card. So hit format SD card, hit OK, and that'll format my card, obviously. It only takes a few seconds, and then you can change things. And first thing I do is flip rear camera left to right. But you can see my current video resolution, 2.5K front and 1080p rear. So later I'm going to take the rear camera off and show you what 4K front can do. So right now I'm looking forward and I'm looking at the parkade. If I hit the thing that looks like a camera, it'll take a picture, which will all be stored on the micro SD card. If I hit that camera flip around thing, it'll show you your rear view, and then you can hit it again, show you the front view. And I did get a mango Yogenfruz, so it was a hot day. I felt I deserved one after installing the camera. So using the camera now that it's all installed, set up, and I've got the app working, and this is all from the micro SD card. I'm not downloading anything onto my phone. My phone doesn't have too much storage. This is obviously inside the parkade, driving out, looking forward. And again, this isn't getting 4K resolution front anymore because I have the rear camera set up. Rear camera is going to be at 1080p. And the other thing about the rear camera, because I have tint on my rear window, it does look dark. So if you didn't have tint, it might not look quite as dark as this. But anyway, it is what it is. That's the vehicle I'm using, and that's what it was installed on. But generally speaking, I think it's clear. You can see what's going on, but it is darker than the forward view for sure. Now, jumping on the 401 in Toronto, this is obviously the front view from the vehicle. A little bit of an overcast day, but again, I think the picture quality is good looking forward. Again, this is not at 4K yet, and I think the field of view is also pretty good looking forward. So you can see, pretty well 2 or 3 lanes over. You can see what's going on both sides. The camera is a little bit offset to the passenger side. And looking at the rear, you can also see what's going on. Again, 1080p, and it is a little bit darker than looking forward. And then just jumping on a city street. This is Yonge Street in Toronto, heading towards downtown Toronto. This is the forward view, obviously. And one more time, just turning the camera around, going down Yonge Street with the rear camera out. You can read some of the license plates, but again, it's a little bit darker and it is at 1080p as advertised. Now I just stopped in a parking lot real quickly and disconnected the rear camera. So now it's going to be playing only through the front camera. And if you look at the app and you open up video resolution, it doesn't have that 2.5K cap on the front camera anymore. So now I'm going to record the next one at 4K. So just jumping back on the road here, this is what the camera looks like when it's only the front, and it's recording in 4K. There might be a couple raindrops on the windshield that it's picking up, but you can see what's going on. It is more clear, and I will put up a 4K with a 2.5K front image here in just a second. So splitting the two images, bottom left is 4K, top right is the 2.5. You can see it is clearer, at least from what I'm looking at. The bottom left one does have a higher image quality, but the 2.5K is not bad either. I would probably use it in 4K myself without the rear camera, but that's just me. Now, going to night driving, this is the camera with both front and rear installed. So it's at 2.5K front at night in a poorly lit area. And then looking at the rear, it gets very dark. Again, I do have tint on my rear window, and that's going to cause it to look a lot darker at night as well. So in a poorly lit area, that's what the rear camera looks like. And then just jumping onto a city street really quickly with a little bit more generous lighting. That's what the front camera is going to look like at 2.5K. And then flipping it around to what you're going to see behind you. That's the rear image in a fairly well lit area. And that's at the 1080p. Again, this is using the micro SD card. I'm not downloading anything onto my phone. My phone doesn't have enough space to download a bunch of video and pictures and that sort of thing. And finally, this is what 4K looks like. So I've once again disconnected the rear camera and we're only using the front camera here, obviously at night on a well-lit street. And then jumping back onto a side street that doesn't have very good lighting, this is what it's going to look like at 4K in a poorly lit area. So I think it's pretty good. Definitely the 4K forward view is good. Having windows with tint on the rear definitely impacts the rear camera. And I think I do prefer the 4K image over the 2.5K. So for me, I think I would just use the front camera and not use the rear camera. Again, that's just my preference, and maybe you want both for whatever reason. I think they both work well. But overall, I think installation was pretty easy. You do need the Jarvis app on your phone, which was also fairly easy to install and pretty intuitive to use. And for the price, I think this camera is actually quite good. So anyway, like I said, there's links in the description. Thanks for checking out my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.